to demonstrate on how to change the O-ring in this bolt here. And if you were wondering what that bolt does, it actually holds the timing chain gear as well as the cam gear, the one that the sprockets ride on, right here. So it's pretty important, and that's why I'm just going to show you a little demonstrative video on how to properly change it without taking anything apart and just pulling that bolt out. As you can see, I do not have the cams in, but this is going to be a pretty good video as to why you would not want to pull that entire bolt out like many people say in the forums. So the O-ring is very simple. I'm going to include a part number in the description below. That way you can order it. It was like $1.44 at Honda for the particular one that we need here. And a list of tools that we need are an 8mm hex for this here. Hex is just going to look like this. An Allen key, just fairly big. And so all we're going to do is turn it to the left, loosen it out. As you can see here, mine isn't very tight. It's supposed to be about 36 foot-pounds. So in your car it may be a little bit tighter. But you're going to loosen it all the way till you can see the O-ring. Do not go much further than that. And I will show you why. So this right here is about as far as you would ever want to go. See, just focused in there. That's about all you need to see of it. That's all you need to work with to get it out. I myself, I used a pair of these here. Yep, I just used a pair of dikes and just kind of grabbed it and grabbed it and grabbed it until it just popped off. And that was in the head that I actually have in my car now. I've just changed that one. And it was very hard. Very, very hard, and it leaked pretty well actually. So once you have broken that O-ring there, whenever it's on the car, you can it'll just fall apart basically because it'll be hard and old. And putting the new one on is pretty simple. There's usually going to be some oil here from where it was leaking before. So it'll be kind of lubing itself up as you just throw it on there. And I barely had to apply any pressure, slipped right on, and I have no more leak now. So the reason why you don't want to loosen this completely out, as you can see with a little bit of play here, only from unloosening it that much, that's all you want. Because your timing chain, think about it, is riding on this gear here, and it's got a lot of pressure on it. It's pulling this down, which would be pulling it down towards the block. And your cam gears would be here, sitting. Alright, so now I'm going to do a quick demo if you took this all the way out. And the reason why it is this far out and it's still in there now is because there's not a lot of pressure on it. It's still... it would never fall out now because the timing chain isn't on it. There's no pressure. So don't ever pull it out this much. Only do as much as I showed you earlier in this video. This is only a demonstrative thing that I'm doing here to show you what would happen if you were to take it out too far. So what's going to happen is, like I said, there's a lot of pressure up here on this gear because the timing chain is riding on it and pulling it down. So if you were to loosen this a little bit too much, and this would not spin because the timing chain, think about it, would be on it. But if you pull it out too much, like I just pulled it out all the way down there, it's going to fall and get crooked like this. So now I can move it up and down, and it's just, the bolt wouldn't go back in if all of the pressure was pulling down on this. You'd never be able to get it down. The only way you'd be able to do it is on the front of the block, which would be just below this head here. You would have to take apart the entire front timing chain cover on it and loosen this belt, or I'm sorry, the chain, so that you can get enough to get it to line back up into that hole where it's supposed to go. So that's just something that you really shouldn't do. Just only bring it out as much as you need to, like I showed you earlier in the video, which should never be more than about there, like I said earlier. So hopefully this helps some of you guys out as to why you should never take this out and what would happen if you were to ever take this out or take it too far out. But I am out. I hope the video helped. Thanks.